Hello, 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 everybody! It's your boy, Jmulls of Jmulls Gaming, and we gotta talk about Mists of Pandaria Remix and the controversy surrounding it at this point. Because if they needed to remind you, it is still Blizzard at the end of the day, isn't it? Now, I've been slowly making my way through Mists of Pandaria Remix. I'm still level 51 on my Enhancement Shaman, and this is what my Cloak is looking like right now. I have a 59% experience gain. However, there's a bit of controversy because the idea and the appeal, clearly, for Mists of Pandaria Remix is that it's extremely arcadey, where you're fighting old mobs, you're getting buffs to your cape to give you more stats, including XP gain on occasion, like I just did by just killing mobs and completing quests and stuff like that. You're getting all these gems that clutter your inventory, which I don't mind, by the way, that you equip for new abilities and buffs and all that goodness. I have Blink on my Shaman. That's sick, right? Like, there's a lot of good here, and I don't want that to get lost in the minutia of what we're about to talk about. But the fun police came out to play when it comes to Blizzard, and if you're a longtime vet of World of Warcraft, you'll know that sometimes Blizzard are their own worst enemy, and something really cool and fun that just exists by itself, for some reason, Blizzard feels the need to regulate it for no apparent reason. And it's really annoying because it creates controversy and just a negative feedback loop that does not need to exist at all in any capacity. Mists of Pandaria Remix is supposed to be lightning quick. I can level up all the alts that I want in preparation for the next expansion, The War Within, and get all my characters squared away. It's the end of the expansion. Who cares about progression or speeds of things? Just let's have some fun before, you know, the expansion rolls over to the new number. Really simple concept, right? But apparently it was too simple for them, because for alts, the way that myself and a lot of people believed the cape would work is that, as you see right here, would carry over to your alts, and then if you played an alt, you could build that up and make it even faster on another go-around. And still, it's technically true to some degree. Not all the stats apparently carry over. I believe your main stat and the XP gain carries over. However, you can get up to like 300% when it comes to the XP gain, but the cape maxes out at 100% for an alt. And I don't understand why. I don't understand what they feel this is adding to the experience. Are they a bit concerned that it will just go way too quick for people, and they would run out of content to do in Mists of Pandaria Remix too quickly, and they would divide it because of that? Is that the main concern? Because if this was pre-release, okay, yeah, I can kind of see that developer logic there. The problem is, I don't think that carries over to an actual entertaining gameplay experience for the player. Especially when this was tested on PTR to be differently, at least to my knowledge. I didn't do the PTR personally. But the idea and the appeal here is for it to be fast. And while it's still fast, right, like a 100% buff for alts, for XP, will still be undeniably fast. You can still build off of that. Sure, 100%. But why limit it to begin with? Why feel the need to try and curate the pace of it on an alt? It's an alt. I've already done this. Yeah? Like, what is the... Thank God for reincarnation. What is the palpable gain to limiting the speed? You really want me to go through Valley of the Four Winds again, but at a slightly slower pace than 300% for whatever reason? Like, what are we doing here? How is this adding to the experience? Oh my god, I'm squishy. Alright, I need to address that. Like, what are we adding to the experience? Also, me focusing up would actually probably help. Because this is the interesting predicament that Blizzard have now put themselves in yet again, where Mists of Pandaria Remix is really good in my opinion. It's super fun. I love Mists of Pandaria overall, and being able to relive it with some modifiers to quicken the experience and treat it as a bit of a fun side project where I can also level up alts to prep for the next expansion. Great idea. And If you still ask me, do I like Miss of Pandaria Remix, I will undeniably say yes. Because I think it's an amazing mode, and I want them to do it again in the future. But Blizzard always shoots themselves in the foot here. Like, sure, I can understand nerfing the frogs to a degree. Because the frogs spawn on, I believe it was a Timeless Isle, allowed for really quick leveling up of the Cloak. Sure, and because of the rating, you may not want everybody to feel as if they're perpetually behind. Okay, I can get that. But why limit the Cloak at all? All the work I do on this character should carry over to whatever alts I'm playing. That's particularly the thing I'm more annoyed about than anything. I didn't particularly care about the frog stuff, but I care about that all the work I'm doing on this character is not going to transfer over to my alts. Let it be stupid quick. Why not? Like, what's the harm in that? And that's why I think the whole fun police thing comes into play here. Because where's the harm in it? Let the Cloak be account bound. We're going into an era of World of Warcraft. It's advertising itself on being account bound. Why are we still doing these weird limitations that do not add to the overall experience, but just feel limiting? I'm getting all this cool stuff. Let it carry over. Let me do my second alt and feel incentivized to play that because of how fast and rapid that it may be, or just let me go on that power fantasy. Who cares about preserving the pace or the integrity of Mists of Pandaria? This game came out 12 years ago. It's fine. Let it be arcadey, let it be dumb fun, and let it be a great way to prep for the new expansion. It still is to some degree, don't get me wrong, but it's not as good as it once was thought to be. And you don't want that taste in the player's mouth whatsoever. You can have a delicious steak, right? Mouth-watering, it's tender, it's beautiful steak, perfectly seasoned, it's to die for. But they put this little bit of vinegar on top of it. Does it ruin the steak? No, but it's an unneeded flavor to this overall experience that doesn't need to be there. It feels as if they're designing the game against the player's wishes more often than not. You don't want to just take every piece of feedback into account and roll with it 100% of the time. You don't want to do that, right? But at the same time, you don't want to feel as if you're designing the game simply to make the player experience worse for whatever reason. And I felt Blizzard was getting better at this. I genuinely did, but this feels like old Blizzard. Even Blizzard from a couple of years ago, rearing its ugly head once again. That's the thing that ticks me off the most in regards to all of this. It was completely unneeded. Even if somehow I got a 1000% XP boost in this Miss of Pandaria Remix event. Like, what's the problem with that? Or if I even just say started with 300% and all the additional stats on an alt. Does it matter? Oh, but people just starting out won't be as strong as you. Most of the time, you're going to be probably queuing up for things anyways. And if the dungeon or raid you're doing is going well enough and quick because some people just absolutely busted, no one's going to really bat an eye or care too much, I can imagine. I ran into a Vengeance Demon Hunter the other day in a dungeon who was doing nutty damage for whatever reason. Did anyone complain? No, because it made the dungeon go faster. In a MoP remix event, who cares? It's fine. We don't need to overthink this, and I think Blizzard suffers from overthinking this kind of stuff far too often. The beauty of MoP Remix is that it's a quick way to level up alts, to prepare for the war within. You can get a bunch of transmog that's either been in the game or hasn't been for recalls, same with mounts and pets, by grinding this content and building up your portfolio of bronze, or whatever, adding a bunch of dumb builds you can do with the gems. It's cool. It's fun. I hope they do change this, and I think that would be one of the best signs and representations that Blizzard have actually changed. If they revert this. If they do a patch note that says, hey everybody, we kind of messed up, we're gonna make it so all of your cloaks, so if I make a new character right now for MoP Remix, all those stats will carry over. If they do that, we're good. Like, don't try not to mess up again, but admit your mistakes and try and rectify it. Because World of Warcraft is in a state where it needs all the good PR that it possibly can get, and it's turning what should have been the best PR moment World of Warcraft has seen in years, besides BlizzCon, that just happened. And it's turning it into a negative. And people going, oh, Fun Police Blizzard, back at it again. Like, those aren't the headlines. That isn't the word of mouth you want in regards to this event. Because I think it's a really good event. It's amazing. Just let the players have fun. And I think with that, I'll call the video there for the day. You stand by Huntress Valerie here. Yeah, there you go. So I'm going to call the video there for the day. Because I've kind of said all I needed to say. Blizzard, do better. Just stop trying to police fun when you don't need to. And with that, I'll call the video. Thank you all for tuning in. Leave a comment down below, though, with what class you are rocking in Mr. Pandaria Remix, and your overall thoughts on the subject matter. Yeah? And how do you think, like, what one change would you love... Okay, who stood in front of me? What one change would you love to see in the next time they do a remix-style event to make the experience even better? What would you like to see? Let me hear your thoughts and hear your opinions. Stay safe, have a great day. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Until we meet again.